Your Dachshund isn't just reacting to the sound of your voice or reading your body language. They are actually processing specific words, real ones, and science has finally started catching up to what Dachshund owners have quietly suspected for years. That little dog understands more than they let on. Here's what makes this fascinating. A landmark study published in the journal Science found that dogs don't just respond to the tone of what you say. Their brains actively process the meaning of individual words in a separate cognitive function. The left hemisphere of their brain handles word meaning, while the right hemisphere handles emotional tone. But here's where it gets even more interesting for you as a Dachshund owner specifically. Dachshunds were originally bred as scent hounds, dogs that needed to work independently, make quick decisions underground, and stay locked in on a task without constant direction from a human. That independent intelligence didn't disappear, it evolved. What it means today is that your Dachshund has a sharp, problem-solving mind that is wired to pay close attention to the world around them, including every word you say. So before you write off that stubborn little stare as defiance, you might want to reconsider. They heard you. They understood. They're just deciding what to do about it. In this video, you're going to discover the 5 specific words your Dachshund genuinely understands on a deeper level than simple association, what the science says about how they process those words, and how you can use each one more effectively in your daily life with your dog. By the end, you'll have a completely different picture of what's going on inside your Dachshund's mind and a practical way to strengthen the communication between the two of you starting today. Number 1. Their name. This one seems obvious, but the science behind it is worth understanding because it changes how you should be using it. When your Dachshund hears their name, research shows that the brain activity triggered is meaningfully different from when they hear a random word or even another dog's name. Their name functions as an attention anchor. It signals that information relevant to them is about to follow. It pulls them into a focused state. The problem most Dachshund owners run into is overuse. If you say your dog's name 30 times a day in casual conversation, while calling across the house, or, worst of all, when you're frustrated with them, you dilute its power significantly. Your Dachshund begins to filter it out the same way you stop hearing background noise after a while. Dachshunds in particular, because of their independent nature, are especially prone to this selective tuning. They learn quickly that their name doesn't always mean something important is coming, so they stop treating it like it does. The fix is simple. Use their name with intention. Say it once, clearly before a command, before feeding, before something positive. Make their name the signal that something worth their attention is about to happen. You'll notice a visible shift in how quickly they respond. Number 2, no. Here's where it gets nuanced. Your Dachshund does understand the word no, but not in the moral, a rule-based way humans use it. Studies on dog cognition show that dogs process negation differently than humans do. When you say no, your Dachshund isn't thinking about what they should stop doing. They're registering your emotional tone and searching for a behavioural cue about what to do next. The word itself is understood as a signal that the current behaviour is producing a negative outcome, but without a redirect, they're often left in a cognitive gap. This matters a lot with Dachshunds because they are problem solvers by nature. They don't just want to stop, they want to know what the correct answer is. A Dachshund that hears no without a follow-up direction will frequently cycle right back to the same behaviour, not out of stubbornness, but because the problem in their mind is still unsolved. They're still looking for the right answer, so use no as a bridge, not a wall. Say no, and immediately follow it with what you actually want. No, sit. No, leave it. Give their mind something to land on. You'll find your Dachshund responds with far less resistance when there's a clear path forward. Number 3, good. The word good, particularly when delivered in a warm, sustained tone, carries measurable weight in a dog's brain. Brain imaging research has shown that positive verbal praise activates reward centres in dogs, and that the word itself, not just the tone, plays a role in that activation when the dog has been taught to associate it with reward. For Dachshunds, who thrive on earning approval despite their independent reputation, this word becomes a powerful tool. What's interesting is the timing. Research consistently shows that verbal praise is most effective when delivered within 1 to 2 seconds of the desired behaviour. Your Dachshund's working memory for connecting cause and effect is short. If you wait too long, the word good loses its direct link to whatever they just did and becomes floating praise. Appreciated, but not instructive. One practical shift you can make immediately: use good as a marker word during the behaviour, not just after it. If your dachshund is holding a sit and you say good in a calm, steady voice while they're still sitting, you're communicating that staying in that position is exactly what's earning the praise. It teaches duration and patience. Two things dachshunds with their spirited personalities genuinely benefit from learning. Number 4, walk. Out of all the words on this list, Dwasi walk is probably the one your dachshund has the most emotionally charged understanding of, and the science explains why. Dogs have been shown to form strong episodic-like memories tied to specific sensory experiences, and the word walk becomes deeply embedded in a cluster of associations including the leash, the door, the outside world, and the rush of scent that a dachshund lives for. For a breed that was engineered to track scent over long distances, walking isn't just exercise, it's mental stimulation at the deepest level. Your dachshund's nose contains roughly 125 million scent receptors. A walk is essentially a full sensory news report about everything that has happened in their environment. When they hear the word walk, they're not just anticipating movement, they're anticipating access to information. Their brain lights up accordingly. This is why spelling it out, W-A-L-K, actually works for a while. You've probably tried it. And then your dachshund figures out the spelling too, because they've attached so much cognitive energy to detecting that concept in whatever form it comes. Use this knowledge intentionally. Saying walk consistently and only when you actually mean it builds a precise, reliable understanding. If you say it casually and then don't follow through, you create anxiety and a dog that begins scanning every sentence for the possibility of it appearing. Number 5. Come. Come is arguably the most important word your dachshund will ever learn, and understanding what they actually comprehend when they hear it explains why so many owners struggle to get reliable recall with this breed specifically. When your dachshund hears come, research shows that dogs process it as a directive tied closely to their emotional relationship with the person calling them. It's not just a word, it's an invitation that carries weight depending on how it has been used in the past. If come has historically led to good things, treats, affection, play, dinner, your dachshund's brain associates it with reward and moves toward it. If come has been used to end fun, return to a crate, or precede something unpleasant, the word itself gets tagged as a warning signal, and your dachshund will hesitate or avoid it entirely. Dachshunds are especially sensitive to this because of their strong self-preservation instincts. They were bred to make independent decisions, which means they are constantly weighing the cost-benefit of any action. If coming to you doesn't consistently feel worth it, they will opt out. This isn't disobedience in the way most people think of it. It's rational decision-making from a dog's perspective. The way to build a rock-solid come with your dachshund is to make every single recall a positive event, without exception. Never call your dachshund to come and then do something they dislike immediately after. If you need to clip their nails or end an off-leash play session, go to them instead. Keep come sacred. Every time they respond to it, something good happens. Over time, the word itself becomes genuinely exciting, and the hesitation disappears. You'll have a dachshund who runs toward you the moment the word leaves your mouth. The bottom line is that small adjustments in how you use each of these words can produce changes in your dachshund's behaviour that might surprise you. Not because you've taught them something new, but because you've finally started speaking in a way they can fully understand. If you found this video genuinely useful, go ahead and give it a like. It helps more dachshund owners find content like this. And if you have a dachshund at home, drop their name in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't yet, because this channel goes deep on the science and behaviour behind the dogs people love most. There's a lot more coming, and dachshund owners especially are going to want to stick around. Your dog is smarter than most people give them credit for, and so are you for wanting to understand them better.